Next, Your Honor, Breiana Tole.
All right.
Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Phyllis Wiley for Ms. Tole. Co-counsel and I have been making some headway going through a lot of the discovery, and we have begun some negotiations with the state attorney's office. We will need some more time. We're getting together some mitigation. We definitely need a substantial pass date so that we can get all of this accomplished.
All right. What about Mr. Khalil on your end?
Your Honor, discovery is still ongoing. This case is married up with Mr. McDowell's case. There is a large amount of discovery, and I've had some initial conversations with defense counsel in regards to possible discussions with Ms. Tole. So at this juncture, we're still moving forward, and I would agree that a sizable pass date would allow us to complete our discovery process and then hopefully further those discussions.
Okay, and that's certainly not a problem. The issue, I mean, have you gotten all the paper discovery and video and everything else, the hard discovery over there? Is there still more out there that's being generated?
90% of the paper discovery and digital media has been tendered during the course of the discovery process. There are still some outstanding reports regarding FDLE analysis, which really don't pertain much to Ms. Tole's case. However,
right.
there was a sizable download of both phones and an iPad that was being utilized by her co-defendant, and there were communications between the parties. That download is still being searched and collated because obviously of the digital media. So all of that is ongoing. Like I said, I believe 90% of all the paper discovery has been tendered. There are some final reports from the lead detective from the Nassau County Sheriff's Office and FDLE that we anticipate will be tendered within the next week or so. We're just waiting on final authorization for those. But other than that, Your Honor, the majority of the discovery has already been tendered. It is enormous in size. We actually had to utilize hard drives to provide it to both defense counsel.
All right. Well, thank you for kind of giving me an idea of what I'm dealing with. That obviously would also is helpful for the co-defendant to understand what's going on. My thoughts were to pass this to April 21st. I think that's almost 2 months. I think I'd like to have everybody back here by then. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. And is that the only week towards the end of April that the court is in session?
No, I mean, I just picked that because it was roughly 2 months out. I mean, we're in session all April. So.
Yeah, Your Honor, and I would request perhaps for Ms. Tole, especially given our discussions at this juncture, if the court had time available, maybe April 7th. I just don't want to postpone. If there are going to be further discussions, I'd rather have those sooner rather than later. And I think the next 30 days or so will give us enough time to do that.
April the 7th, then, at this time. Not that, I mean, I don't want to get into the weeds on this right now, but that'll be the first week that we're actually opening up Thursday Wednesday as a felony docket day as well. I'll give more details on that, but right now I'll just set it for Thursday. Okay. That's kind of
yes,
for
sir.
everybody. All right.
Yes, sir. I appreciate the accommodation. I just don't want to, if we're going to make some action with the case, like I said, I'd rather expedite that and move forward than have delay because it may affect potential discovery by the co-defendant later on down the road. So.
All right. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, that seemed to have addressed Mr. McDowell pretty well as well. Do you want to give him the same pass date?
Yeah, I had excused his attendance mainly because he's down in Duval right now, and with the COVID numbers, although they're going down now, I just didn't think it was necessary to have him appear. So basically, you're telling me the same thing is really going on with McDowell as far as a review the materials?
Yes, sir. Actually, Mr. Chipperfield and I scheduled some depositions for the week of March 21st. I anticipate that those depositions will be some of the initial officers based upon my discussions with him. Obviously those depositions would be taken, and then hopefully we'll have additional depositions scheduled by the 7th of April. So if we could keep that date, I think we would be able to update the court on the progress of discovery.
All right. So you want to keep both cases on the same day?
Yes, yes, especially because of the fact that they're being housed in separate locations. There's no fear of the inmates having contact with each other. So I think if we kept those dates together, then that would be easiest for future scheduling if need be.
All right. Well, I appreciate you all going ahead and setting depositions. So we'll just schedule Mr. McDowell's case for April the 7th as well. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That's all I have. Maybe excused.
You may.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. You too.
Next, Your Honor, Kendall Wilder.